Within a year, all the glory of Kedar will fail, and the remainder of the number of archers, the mighty men of the people of Kedar, will be diminished. Let the church say amen.
Amen.
Subject matter here as it relates to the text is Kedar. Kedar. By definition, Kedar means dark. It refers to black skin. A black-skinned man or a black-skinned woman. Historically, Kedar is the son of Ishmael. You remember him, the son of Abraham. It's in Genesis 25 and verse 13. Also in 1 Chronicles chapter 1 and verse 29. And it is from Ishmael that Kedar comes from, and his descendants as well. Those of us who know a little of biblical history, we know that Ishmael is the father of the Arabs, the Arabians. This word speaks of the descendants of Kedar, and also speaks of the Arab nations, the Arab people. Psalms 120 verse number 5. Song of Solomon chapter 1 verse 5 speaks of the tents of Kedar. These were people who lived in tents. How many know we ought to be grateful for a roof over our head? Amen. In the book of Isaiah, Kedar is mentioned 4 times. Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 7, it says the flocks of Kedar will be gathered together. And Isaiah chapter 42 verse 11, it says that Kedar, thank you Lord, inhabited villages. But in our text, Isaiah chapter 21 and verse 16, Adonai, the Lord has spoken to the prophet Isaiah. It's a good feeling when God speaks to you.
Yes, amen.
In this season, God is not only going to speak to you concerning yourself, but what he is planning to do to others.
Yes.
Realize that in this season, the word God gives you, you are not to keep to yourself.
Amen.
It must be released. Touch somebody and tell them somebody needs to hear what God is saying. I'm halfway finished here, and the word comes to the prophet Isaiah, and God says clearly within a year. That's all they had. 1 year. 12 months. Well, now counting the 365 days. By the 15th of September next year. Are you following me here? According to the year of a hired man, or as a servant bound by contract with counted. Meaning that this prophecy will take place to the exact date and time. God says in 1 year's time, all the glory will be gone. The glory will fail. The glory will come to an end. And there will only be 1 year for them to continue to experience the glory of God. This is a word that should wake some of us up. Because if we knew that there was a time limit on what we could experience with God, we would take advantage of it every chance we get. Could you imagine if God were to tell some of you, you only have 1 more month to experience my presence? You only have 1 more week to experience my presence. I believe some of our attitudes will change toward God. Again, it is important that we appreciate the glory. Sometimes we can become so comfortable in the move of God that we feel God will never leave. God has sent prophets time and time again to warn the people. The temple's going to be burned. The temple's going to be destroyed. But the people never would receive the prophetic word. They were convinced that God would never destroy his own house. They thought that the glory would never depart. And the same place they had so much trust and confidence in, it had church on the side, but the name was really Ichabod, for the glory had already departed. There are many churches that are open if they haven't finished already, and the glory is no longer there. Can I be honest with you? I believe that God always puts a time limit on the glory. Are you with me here? I said God will put a time limit on the glory, because when the glory comes, he expects us to take advantage of it. There may be a time where you will come in the house of the Lord and will not feel the presence of God. This is the time not for you to move on to another sanctuary, but you should have had a sponged up enough of the glory. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. To start a fresh glory wherever you are. Y'all not saying nothing here. I want you to understand that the glory is not supposed to be limited to the 4 walls of the sanctuary, but the glory is supposed to be in you. Now slap somebody high five and tell them the glory is in me. The glory of God is in me.
Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. Yes, Lord.
He tells Kedar, he says, I'm going to give you 1 year. This is the prophecy. This is the word. He said to Kedar, he said, y'all Arabs, y'all living pretty good. I'm going to give y'all 1 year. And when that year is finished, all of your glory will be gone. The Hebrew word is kavod. It speaks of glory. It speaks of honor. Hear the Lord. It speaks of abundance, splendor, riches, dignity, reputation. All these represent glory. It's wonderful to know that God is a God of his word. Amen. And there are places who have glory on them, but the glory on them is for a certain amount of time.
Amen. That's right.
As beautiful as a country may be, I didn't call any names. As green as the palms are, as white as the sand is, as clear as the water is, all those represent glory. But for every glory, there is a limited time. Hold up by my shade. I don't care how pretty a church is. It has air conditioning and parking. It may have carpet, beautifully chandeliers. As beautiful as a church is, even the glory there is limited. I don't care how well of a reputation a person has, dignity, how rich they are. Eventually, the glory will disappear. And this is the prophecy to those of Kedar. Said there's glory there now, but the glory is coming to an end. The glory will be finished. The glory there will cease. The glory will be destroyed. Not trying to scare anybody, but everything that you have now that you used to call yourself blessed, you should appreciate it because you may not always have it. God has a way of bringing things to a stop. Not to punish you, but to see, can you live without it? You can live without all them clothes in your closet, but you cannot live without God. And because of the blessings that God has given us, we have created a glory for ourselves. And we have forgotten about that the true glory comes from God. There are people, they wear their glory on them. So now when they come into the presence of God, they can't give him the glory he deserves because they're wearing too much glory. Anything that prevents you, hinders you, or slowing you down from giving God the glory, you should detach away from it. Oh, y'all not saying nothing here. You should be able to take that chain off, or take those rings off, or take them shoes off. And when you're done giving God the glory, just put them back on. I need somebody to lift your hands. I wish I had about 14 of y'all that would do it. I need you to open your mouth and shout, all the glory belongs to God. When God loves you, he takes some of the, I feel you, Lord. He takes some of the glory that is on him. And hallelujah. And he puts it on you. But that doesn't mean you should forget where the glory came from. And this is the state of many churches. This is the state of many people. This is the state of many nations. God have blessed them, and they forgot where the glory came from. That's right. You forgot who's the reason for the mango season. Who's the reason for the sugar cane season. Oh, y'all not saying nothing here. Hallelujah. All of that comes from God. Thank you, Lord. And God is very clear to these Arabs in the text. He says, you have one more year to experience the good life. I hope I'm scaring two of you here. You have one more year, Sunday, to experience all those great things that I have blessed you with. There is a time limit on the glory. The book of Isaiah chapter 10 verse 17 and verse 18. There it talks about how the light of Israel. Let me read it. The book of Isaiah chapter 10 and the 17th verse. So the light of Israel will be for a fire, and his Holy One for a flame. It will burn and devour his thorns and his briars in one day.
My God. Hey.
One day.
Jesus.
Here's the next verse. Verse number 18. And it will consume the glory of his forest and of his fruitful field. It will consume the glory, both soul and body.
Jesus.
They will be as when a sick man is wasting away, dying slowly. God said, because I'm light and because I'm fire, I'm getting ready to burn something. And when you think about it, God is being more merciful to the Arabs than he is here in this text. Because he tells the Arabs, you got one more year to experience the glory. But here God said, I'm going to burn everything up in one day.
One day. Jesus.
You don't even know how much time you have.
Amen.
Oh, it's quiet. It's quiet. I can't believe this was the same shouting and dancing church from a few minutes ago.
Mighty God. Hey. God is fire.
There's some people God have only given one day.
One day. Oh, Jesus.
I know we're getting ready to leave, but think about that. What if God says you only have one more day?
Jesus.
What if tomorrow everything you've ever loved and known is gone?
My God. Jesus.
I see some of y'all doing this like you don't believe God can do that. You need to talk to Job. God can take everything in a moment. Y'all don't gotta say amen. I got people in the Bahamas that'll say amen. God can take everything you could have ever loved and known in one day. All the glory, the beautiful house,
That's it.
the
That's
car,
it. Yes. Yes.
even the
Money.
children.
Come on. Come on.
Oh, y'all don't believe this. Your wonderful job, all that money you have in the
That's
bank,
right. That's right.
you can lose it all.
1 second. 1 second.
God said, I'll burn it.
One day.
He said the glory will be consumed in one day. But I'm closing. Kadar, God said I'm going to be more merciful to you because I'm going to allow you to enjoy your glory for one more year.
Jesus.
Lift your hands all over this room. Some people, I'm not saying you're in here, but there are some people who only have one more year.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm not talking about in here, but there are some people who are alive today who will not be alive this time.
That's here. That's it.
Think about that. Shikaramamasi. Your calling and your election must be
Sure. True.
Don't miss God because you're in love with things.
Amen. That's so true.
Don't get to the point where you love the gifts more than the giver.
That's it. That's it.
Or the creature more than the... That was a prophecy to them. Say, Kedar, y'all only have one more year. And then your glory is going to be gone. Here's my closing. God then says to the prophet Isaiah, he says, the residue of the number of archers and mighty men of the children of Kedar will be diminished. Everybody say diminish. The remainder of the numbers of archers will be few. Maybe one thing that we can say about Kedar is that they had a whole lot of archers. The body of Christ, his prophecy in motion, used to have a whole lot of archers too. We used to have a whole lot of people who knew how to fight, who knew how to war, who knew how to open their mouth and hit the enemy with fiery darts and fiery arrows. But as time has gone on, and as churches have become more prettier, we are not saying nothing here. We have lost the fighters, and we have lost the desire to fight. It's a sad word because what the body of Christ and what every army needs are archers. Oh God, I'm weeping in my spirit because this church, this ministry, we need archers. I know everybody ain't gonna like this. I was grateful to see praise and worship in here today. It blessed my spirit. But when that's all over, we still need people that know how to shoot. Grab somebody's hand and tell them how I feel, Lord. And tell them, neighbor, can you shoot? Do you know how to use a bow and an arrow? Are you strong enough? Can you pray until whatever has me lets me go? Can you pray until demons leave? Can you clear an atmosphere? Can I call you and put you on speakerphone and let you pray in the sound of your prayer? Clear everything from out of the house. We got a whole lot of people in church. We love music, love singing, but we need people who can fight in the spirit. One year, all your glory will be gone.
Come on.
But all those archers that you have, all those people who know how to attack the enemy,
Yes, Jesus.
in a year's time, they will be diminished. They will go from multitude. Look at our church. Talking about the body of Christ.
True.
You will go from multitudes of archers to there just being a few.
My God.
Only a few would come to prayer service.
That's it. That's it.
It's
That's
fine.
it. So true. Come on.
Only a few would come to Bible
Bible
study.
study. Come on.
Only a few would come to church on time.
That's it.
Don't look around, just look at me.
Come on. Hey.
Only a few would fast when the church calls a fast.
Only a few.
See, I know y'all wasn't going to like this word, but that's what he gave me. He said the archers have been diminished. What's the revelation? The good news is, and this is for us who are archers and who know how to fight, the Bible does say that only a few of the archers will survive.
Come on.
That's not for everybody, but I can shout on that because I'm an archer. If I was trying to excite you, this would have been my word for today. But the archers will survive. I'm going to tell somebody, tell them the archers will survive. Those who know how to fight, those who know how to war, those who come into the house of God, with a weapon in their mouth, those who really don't like the devil. I don't like demons. I don't like witches. I don't like witchcraft. I don't like obeah. I don't like obeah oil. I don't like voodoo. I don't like homemade altars. God said the archers will be few. But we will survive. I feel God in here. I need you to get out of your seat and just grab somebody and give them high five and tell them, neighbor, glory to God. I'm going to tell them, neighbor, I will survive. Hallelujah. If you ain't no fighter, if you ain't no warrior, then this word is not for you. But if there's anybody in here that know that you got power and you got an anointing to fight, I need you to clap your hands, open your mouth, because God said you will survive. The archers, I'm closing, the archers will survive. There'll only be a few of them, but they will survive.
Come on.
Lift your hand and say, I will survive. Here's my conclusion, right? 1 year, the glory's going to be gone, and your arches will go from many to few. The glory will disappear. Well, your arches will go from many to few. What does that say? When the glory is there, there will be many archers there.
Yes, yes.
Are you following this?
Yes.
And where there are archers, I hope y'all say amen to this, there is also glory.
Yes.
I'm going to say that again.
Yes, amen.
Where there are archers,
Yes, amen.
there is also glory.
Amen.
But when the glory stops, the archers diminish. What does this say? It's saying that the archers preserve the glory.
Yes. Oh, glory be to God.
The archers keep the glory in the place.
Yes.
So now when the glory goes, the archers go as well. Oh, I hope y'all follow me here. God is saying that archers are profitable for battle. And not only are they profitable for battle, but they are profitable for the glory. The reason we need archers in the church is because we need the glory here. Any church, I don't care who they are, any church that used to have the glory, that no longer has the glory now, it is because of the absence of archers.
That's it.
People are no longer using their tongues as arrows. And if we're using our tongues as arrows, we're using it to attack one another. God is saying the glory will fail. Everyone on your feet. I want you to receive this word in your spirit.
Glory.
The glory will fail.
That's right.
You can afford to get your hair did every single week.
It's true. Amen.
The glory can fail.
That's right. True.
You get your nails done to match every outfit. The glory can fail.
Amen.
Lift your hands all over this.
Jesus.
This house, and not just this house, but every house of God,
Yes, of God.
we need archers.
Amen. True word of truth.
You know, when we look at this word, and those of us who are honest, and those of us who our eyes are already open, we can already see this word has already come to pass.
Yes. It's true. It's true.
There are only a few
A few.
archers.
So true.
They have diminished.
It's true.
People don't pray the way they used to pray.
Spread.
And the dangerous thing is that this affects the glory.
It's true. The
When
atmosphere.
you come into church and just stare and look
Yes.
around,
Hindrance.
you affect the
Yes.
glory.
Hindrance. Come on.
But like today, when everybody's on one accord,
Amen.
and when everybody comes through those doors, you put a mean look on your face
My God.
and say that the devil better not be in this house.
Amen.
I'm talking about when you come to the door. That kind of attitude you have. I'm talking about when you run up the stairs hoping he's up here just so you can deal with him.
Run out.
Yes, Lord.
The body of Christ needs archers. We
Amen.
need people to fight.
That's right.
Not smile at the devil.
No.
We need people who's about warfare.
Amen.
Where there's glory, there's archers.
Hey.
Where there's archers, there's glory.
Glory.
But in that 1 year's time, when the glory would have departed from Kedar, Many of the archers would have also departed as well. This is prophecy in action.
Yes, yes,
This
yes.
is happening
Right
right
now, right now. True word.
The archers are being diminished. And I gotta say it because this is the Spirit of the Lord in me. It's true. By this time next year, there will be even fewer archers than there are now.
That's right.
Last year there were more than there are now. But there's been a diminishing of archers since last year. I'm talking about the body of Christ as a whole. And it's true because God's word cannot lie.
Never lie.
By this time next year, I pray it's not for this house, there'll be less glory, if any at all. I'm talking about the body of Christ. And there'll be less archers. Many are taking their quivers and hanging them up. They're taking their bows and breaking it across their knees. They don't want to fight no more. I want to come to church and be entertained. I want to see flashing lights.
You want it like a circus.
I want the preacher to make me feel good. God is calling. This is the altar call for archers.
Amen.
People who are committed to
Yes.
the battle. People who are committed to the fight. If there is not an increase in archers, there cannot be an increase
Glory.
in glory.
Amen. Jesus.
The archers fight for the glory to the name.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
To everyone in this room, you are more than a person to keep that cushion warm.
Amen.
We need you to do more than that.
Amen.
We need you to engage.
Spiritual warfare.
We want, lift your hands, we want the glory to remain here. Listen, there's glory here now. But we want glory to be here all the time.
Amen.
But if there are no archers in here, the glory will depart.
Jesus.
If we don't start recruiting people who are serious
That's right.
about fighting for God and serious about being a soldier for the Lord, we will lose all of our glory in 1 year's time.
Jesus.
Hallelujah. Don't just come to church to come to church.
Amen. That's
Don't come
right.
to church because I was raised to come to church.
Amen.
I come to receive something.
That's right.
Ammunition, at least.
Word. Hey. Word of prophecy. Hey,
Paul
Kutia.
saying we got to fight for the
Hey.
glory. Come on, we got to fight for the glory.
Jesus.
Come on, come on, come on. This is an altar call. We got to fight for the glory.
Yes.
So you got to go back to your home and war
Yes,
there.
Lord.
You become so tired and fed up.
Jesus.
And you just turn the radio up loud and deal with stuff. No. You are an archer.
Glory.
You are a fighter. That same radio, you got the volume all the way up, turn it all the way down, please, and open your mouth in prayer. I'm talking about walk through the hallways. Open the doors and pray in this room and pray in that room. And anoint pillows and anoint doors and anoint windows and declare, I am ordained as an archer in this place.
Jesus.
If there's no archer in your house, there will be no glory in your house. Archers leave when the glory leaves.
That's right.
Archer leaves when the glory leaves. But as long as the archers are there, the glory will be there. We have to maintain the presence of God
God. Amen.
and the glory of God.
Jesus.
We have to maintain it. God told the Arabs, the Kadarites, 1 year. all the glory will be gone.
Jesus.
And there will only be a few.
My God.
Few people. Many are called, right?
But few are chosen.
Few are chosen.
There's only a few.
Narrow is the way, straight is the
Yeah.
gate. And there's only a few.
Few.
You'll find it.
That's it.
This is prophecy.
Yes, it is. Word of
There
prophecy.
will only be
Come
a
on.
few who know how to find it.
That's right. Jesus.
We don't need a few archers in this ministry.
That's right.
We need many.
Many. Glory.
Many.
Many.
Come on, hold somebody's hand now for the Lord.
Jesus.
Grab somebody's hand. Self-identity goes a long way
Yes, Lord.
as it relates to knowing who you are.
Yes.
If you are never sure of why God called you or what your assignment is, this is one thing for sure.
Amen.
You're supposed to be an archer.
Glory.
Amen.
And your job is to make sure
Yes.
that you fight for the glory.
Fight.
Yes.
Fight.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
When you come in here and
Bring it down.
it doesn't feel right,
Come on.
Jesus.
don't sit down in your chair and
Amen.
whisper.
Amen. Hey, abosiki, abosinde.
Launch
Jesus.
an arrow.
Jesus.
And once you've launched that first arrow, launch another one.
Glory. Hey.
And keep launching
Yes,
until
Lord.
the atmosphere
It's
has
changed.
been clear.
Yes.
There must be glory.
Glory. Amen.
So there must be
Archers.
archers.
Word,
That hand that you hold up now,
Hey.
there's a calling
Jesus.
on their life.
Yes, Lord.
The same one that is on yours
Yes, Lord.
for you to fight
Yes.
in the army.
Glory.
For you to know how to use a spiritual weapon.
Weapon.
Amen.
Father, in the name of
In the
Jesus,
name of Jesus.
you have equipped all of us with a bow and an arrow
Yes, Lord.
and several arrows to shoot. Father, I pray in the name of Jesus that you would equip us,
Yes, Lord.
teach us
Yes.
how to fight
Yes,
in the
Lord.
spirit. We heard what your word said to those of Kedar. But let that not be manifest in this place.
Glory be to God.
Let not the glory depart from this house.
Yes, Lord.
But I pray, God, for a drafting.
Yes.
A drafting of archers.
Yes, Lord. Do it, Lord.
Let not the archers in this house
Yes,
be
Lord.
few.
Yes, Lord.
But let the archers
Touch and
in
agree.
this ministry
Touch and agree.
be many.
Touch and agree.
We need more than a
Touch and
handful.
agree in the name of
We need more than 5 or
Yes,
10.
Lord.
But God, I pray that you would raise up archers in this house. And we are not selfish. We pray not only for this ministry, but for the body of Christ as a whole. The body of Christ needs archers. The body of Christ needs soldiers.
Yes, Lord. Yes. Glory.
And God, we're watching it every year.
Hey.
We're watching every year.
Lord.
The warriors are getting smaller.
Jesus.
Every year we're seeing intercessors getting smaller and
Yes,
smaller.
yes.
Prayer meetings, smaller and smaller.
Jesus.
Bible study, diminishing. Church
My God.
attendance, diminishing.
Word of truth.
Diminishing. 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 The glory is important to us.
Yes, Lord.
Come on, let that hand go. Lift both your hands. The glory is important to us.
Yes, Lord.
Lord, your glory is so
Glory, Lord. Your glory, your glory.
important to us. And we vow today to be an archer.
Yes, Lord.
We vow today
Yes.
to shoot arrows. We make it our responsibility
Yes, Lord.
to make sure that the glory of the Lord does not depart from this house.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Every time we come and we want to feel the glory.
Hallelujah.
God, if we come in and don't feel it, we're going to do something about it.
Hallelujah.
See, that's the kind of attitude I need you to have. Some of y'all got it, some of y'all don't have it. But God, if we come in and we don't feel the glory, we're going to pray until the glory comes.
Hallelujah. Amen.
Birth archers in the palace. Birth archers
Yes.
in this palace.
In the name
Birth
of
archers.
Jesus.
Are you in agreement?
Yes.
Birth
Touch and
archers in this palace.
agree.
Birth archers
Touch and
in
agree.
this
In
palace.
the name of Jesus.
Not people that just come for a Sunday service.
No.
Birth archers. Draft archers. Draft archers in the palace. Those who have hung up their bow, those who have hung up their arrows, God, we put the quiver back on their back. I send them home today with a fresh set of arrows. Brand new arrows in their mouth.
Glory.
We're
Jesus.
going to fight till the glory returns to our home. We're going to fight until peace returns back to our home. We're going to fight until the foolish argument stops. We'll even fight on the job. Hallelujah. We got to have peace there too. But there must be glory everywhere that we are.
Yes, Lord. Yes.
There must be glory.
Jesus.
Come on, there must be glory. I want you to see your importance to the glory. I want you to see your necessity to the glory. Hallelujah. We need more than a few. We need more than a few. We need more than a few. The prayer's going on. We need more than a few. I said we need more than a few. I said we need more than a few. When we pray before service, we need more than a few.
Jesus.
Archers. Archers. We'll fight for the glory. We'll fight to make sure it stays. We'll fight to make sure that the glory of next Sunday will be greater than this.
Amen. That's right. Amen.
Because your word says the glory of the latter
Shall be greater.
shall be greater than the glory of the former.
Jesus.
There's some churches that are packed to capacity.
That's right.
This morning,
That's
if they're not finished already,
it.
but there's only a few, if any,
At all. That's right.
arches in there. Can you imagine that a church can be filled to capacity, running over, standing room only, and no glory? No archers,
Oh my God.
no glory.
Hey.
But we prophesy over this house, over this ministry, over the palace. There shall be glory.
Hallelujah.
Hey, Shatta. I said there shall be glory. I said there shall be glory. I said there shall be glory. Come on, where the archers, where the archers, where the archers, where the archers. Where are those that's going to make sure the glory stays? Come on, I need you to open your mouth. Come on, archers, I need you to identify yourself. Come on, identify yourself, identify yourself. Come on, identify yourself. I need to know today, I need to know who's going to fight. I need to know who's with me, who's going to roll with me, who's going to battle with me, who's going to tear the kingdom of darkness down. I need to know who's not afraid of the devil. I need to know who's not afraid of witchcraft. I need to know who's not afraid of witches. I need to know who knows that opium can't work on you. I need people that are willing to shoot their arrow. We need experts. I gotta go. We need experts in warfare.
Yes, Lord.
The glory that is here must be protected and maintained.
Amen to that.
I'm gonna tell you this early. The devil is highly upset right now. I'm telling
Right
you.
now, right now.
The devil is highly upset right now. The glory makes him mad. That's why we need archers. He's going to try and come with a sleepy spirit tonight or Tuesday night or during this revival. But where the archers are, the glory is maintained.
Jesus.
Be more than a person who sings along.
Amen. True. True.
Hallelujah. Be more than a head that does this and says amen. Be an archer.
Amen.
An archer. Be more than a pretty face with matching clothes.
That's right. That's right.
I love this. I love this.
Be an archer. Because the glory here must be maintained. Touch somebody and tell them, maintain the glory, maintain the glory. Maintain the glory, maintain the glory. Come on, tell them, maintain the glory. Maintain the glory. Clap your hands and give God a great big praise, everybody.